My name is Scherer. Of course, I play Magic, as you all know, but I'm from St. Louis originally and currently as well. Kind of started out kind of playing back in the game on the SCG tour a couple years ago, and right now, with Card Hoarder, trying to make a breakout onto the Pro Tour and GP scene as well. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Well, actually, I got in first to the Pokemon trading card game way back in 1999 when I was like a little kid and it was popular. And a few of the guys at my shop were while we were playing that game, being like, hey, you should play this other game that I know about. And it was Magic, so I kind of picked that up right away in fall of 2000 and started playing competitively in Invasion Block, Constructed, and then just basically played that all through high school. Took a few years off in college, but it's pretty much been my Magic career. Actually, about 6 months after I started playing the game. So my first PTQ was in 2001. 2002, I was already going to JSS and so forth. So basically, pretty much Magic's been my competitive outlet. I was always kind of that kid who didn't do sports, nothing else. So I needed a game. So this was it. As far as Team Card Hoarder, so originally last year I started grinding with Devin Kepke and Jake Baugh, who were also on Card Hoarder, but were previously on Lotus. So we've been, together for a while, and going to all the SCG events together last year, and kind of I grew close to hang out with a lot of the Card Hoarder guys that are on the team now, and got on the team for this year. So hoping to help out with all that. As far as the team, it's of course, there's always the, conundrum of I really want to do well, but, Magic doesn't really have a real team atmosphere. But kind of the best part is having a bunch of people to test with. That's the ground floor. Everyone is I want to get my buddies together so we can all get, test and, get ready for a GP or so forth. But with the team structure we have, every day you have those resources, but also just that and the camaraderie itself. For instance, when you're at an event, just having, you all meet up together, talk about the last round, one person's kind of tilted after, kind of a loss, you can all just BS or, feel better. And it's just it also gives you that kind of not just a, hey, mechanically, me and you are going to spit ideas at each other and do better for it, but at the same time, we're also going to be great friends and have a great experience. That's the big deal with Magic, right? Is we get to go to events and play in real life versus sitting at a computer all day. So, it just makes everything just amazing with that. For myself, basically just, of course I would, more than anything, with the team goal, get on the Pro Tour and so forth, but another thing is how I would like to, just get better as a player in general. It's Magic being the game that it is. You can't just expect XYZ results in a set time frame. But you can always try to get better. For instance, you can go to an event and not win a single match, but learn infinite things. So it's kind of one of those going for the marathon of that, and then also just being able to help the teammates themselves. If I'm not able to go to an event, for instance, even just this past Pro Tour, I wasn't qualified, but my teammates were, so I can work on standard, not just for myself, but also, hey, what ideas do they have, and then just work on it for a week because I have nothing else to do, and ship them the information. So helping and all that is really great. It's definitely a very, very big difference. Of course, the common, conception is you go from, the SCG, which is kind of a US circuit, to, the world circuit, which is the Pro Tour and the Grand Prix. So you're obviously going into a much, quote unquote, harder realm because there's more people to compete against. But at the same time, it's awesome because as a player, I always want to challenge myself and learn new things. That's why I play the game all this time. Every weekend I want to play Magic because of the puzzles and so forth. So if my opponents, if I'm not learning anything, what am I doing this for, type of deal. So I want to do that, but also by jumping to this Grand Prix, stage, it's going to be a few setbacks. For instance, even on our team, a lot of us are not like we had a full team for this Pro Tour. Not everyone's qualified for the next one, but that's kind of like the growing experience is we're all going to learn how to adapt to this system and get better. So that's what we can hope for.